one for you anyway.
I know, I realised that. Never mind. Here we go anyway.
Right. Welcome, everyone, to Bark and Beyond, or Beyond the Bark.
Beyond the Bark.
I've got it first time I've said it and I've got it wrong already. That's great, isn't it? So, Beyond the Bark is what we are thinking of calling this. And it's basically just going to be a no fluff, no BS chat about dog training, general day-to-day life as dog trainers, and some boring crap about our personal lives as well, I assume.
Really selling it, Abby. Really selling it.
I am, yeah. But yeah, we're going to be chatting about everything that sort of is questioned over the internet. So we're going to give you the truth about everything, basically. If
you're easily offended, this isn't for you as well.
Sorry?
So if you're easily offended, it's not going to be really the thing for you.
If you are easily offended, or if you are force-free, this ain't for you. Really.
Yep.
Which is probably where we should introduce ourselves, to be honest, and what we do. So I'll let you go first, Ringley.
All right. I'm Matt. I run and own Matt's Mutts Dog Training in the Northeast, in Washington, just outside of Newcastle, for those of you who know where that is. I work with reactive and aggressive dogs mainly, and sort of transforming people's lives around. And I think you are very similar.
Yeah, basically, I mean, we're the same person, just different genders, to be honest. Yeah. I think right now.
Yeah, it's like carbon copy. Yeah.
So me and Matt, we actually met on the YCA's mentorship. Didn't expect to make any friends there because I don't make friends. I'm a loner. I've always been that way.
To make friends.
But he wore me down.
Yep.
We get on really, really well. We have the same sort of outlook on dog training. So I'm also a balance trainer. So I run Abbey Tales Canine College down south in Bedfordshire. So we're not even close to each other. We're like pretty much on the ends of the
miles.
Absolute miles. But, we still chat every single day, and now we're doing this, so it's great. But we're both advocates for e-collars, actually telling your dog no. Big advocates for that. So if you're someone watching this and you're like, well, nothing's worked for my dog, everyone keeps telling me to throw treats at them, and it's like, that doesn't work, they're still biting my leg, this is the podcast for you, basically, because we'll actually tell you the truth and tell you what to do properly, to be honest.
Rather than wasting your money. And, I think I've lost count now as to how many people I've spoken to, and they get to a point where it's just complete, skepticism, is that the word?
Yeah.
Of, I don't think anything's going to work. I'm actually messaging somebody at the minute, and, they've actually bumped into one of my clients, and they've seen the work that we did with their dog, but even still, because they've spent hundreds on harnesses and leads and collars and all this kind of stuff, and then they've been to several trainers for sessions, and their dog's still booting off, they're like, I'm hesitant to spend any more money or try anything new. And it's a bit frustrating on our part. And I'm sure you've experienced the same, where it's, you have all these trainers who get first dibs and then spoil it for all the good ones. Because
there's a massive distrust for people that come to me. And I think it's the same as you. It's very rare that I'll have someone come to me and I'm the first dog trainer they've seen.
Yeah.
I think I had the first one in months the other day, came to me, very young dog, Fox Red Lab, so I'm very, very excited. And, I am the first dog trainer that they found, which is great. Because not, blow smoke up my arse or something, but I know that they're not going to waste money.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that the best way to know that is that you look back at all the people that you've worked with, and you just think, okay, we both build strong communities with our clients, and we know really how many people that the training hasn't worked with.
Yeah.
and that number's pretty much zero.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. And, you know, if I had people who they were like, yeah, this hasn't worked, I'd be devastated, and I'd do absolutely everything in my power to be like, right, okay, what's not worked? What's gone wrong?
Yeah, like I know so many people that have come to me, and when it's not worked for them, the trainer has just ghosted them.
Yeah.
They've not offered anything. They've not offered any assistance or any money back. They've literally just gone, bye, and they've not heard from them again. And I'm like, I couldn't do that. But I guess that's the difference between someone who does it as a passion and someone who's just, I'm a dog trainer.
Just a dog trainer. Yeah, exactly. Just taking the money, doing what they just generally do without actually actually helping the dog, and then
they're doing it for social media.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Which, of course, we see, for anyone that hasn't seen our social media accounts, go and watch them, go and give them a follow, because
we'll stick them in the description.
Free advice, don't we? Just on social media.
Yes.
Yeah. Insane. So we don't want anything back, me and you, really.
No, exactly. It's like, for me, I always say this to my clients, and I think this is why a lot of them, I'm pretty sure you said the same when you've made somebody cry. It's I don't like to feed any kind of bullshit when it comes to working with my clients. You know, they pay me the money to help them. I'm not here to waste time and try and sugarcoat maybe something they're doing wrong, or maybe something that needs to be improved. I'm going to tell you it straight. I'm just going to say, you know, like, you're doing that wrong. And I'm going to tell you as to why and how we can fix it. Because all I want is just things to work as fast as possible and as efficient as possible. There's no point trying to sugarcoat things to be like, you know, you're not quite getting them. Like, no, you're doing that shit. You need to do it this way. And then as soon as you do that, there's a massive improvement. Timing is so crucial, and I'm not going to hang about and watch you do bad reps.
Oh, have you ever provided negative reinforcement to a client before?
I think telling them they're doing something pretty shit's quite it.
You're shit. No, I have before put a lead around someone's hand when they kept going.
Give them a little correction.
And whenever they were going for the treat pouch and they weren't meant to, it's literally just, wait, stop it.
Nope.
Worked.
That's clever.
It worked.
I like that. It's a good idea, actually.
Actually, I got the what's the word? Oh, what is it where you take something from someone else? Begins with an I. That word.
Take something from someone else.
Took an idea. I got the
inspiration.
Just gonna say inspiration. That's
inspiration.
It. Yeah,
I think I know what you're gonna say.
From another dog trainer on Instagram. So
tapping with the stick.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not gonna whip them, but I like the idea of it.
I'll just yank them with lead.
Yeah. Lead instead. Yeah. And then, to be fair, they do it to me. So whenever we're practicing negative markers, for example, I'm like, practice on me first. So my poor wrist, by the end of the day, doing negative markers.
It makes everybody feels like such an idiot when they do it, don't they? They're like, we're doing what? I was like, yeah, we're just doing a little bit of role play. I'm like, I wasn't.
It's not a kink of mine. It's terrible.
Well, you know what, right? I was in stitches the other day. I had a young couple in, and I said, you know, we're gonna run through this, you and me. And like the boyfriend was sitting on the sofa. It was the girlfriend I was working with, and I was like, we're gonna be like, I'm gonna be the dog. And now he heard that as to she's gonna be the dog, and he was like, you get her on all fours, I'm gonna film this. And I was like, right, that's not what we're doing here. No.
I love it when I get a couple doing the negative marker with each other, and they just have so much fun just telling each other off. It's great. I feel like it's couples therapy as well as dog training.
That's certainly something I never expected to do, is to step in for domestics. And
I'm not qualified to do this at all.
No, we're here for the dogs. Stop arguing.
Yeah. And the amount of times that you'll have someone call you, oh, I don't know if you've had it, you must have done. You'll have someone call you and they're like, we can't agree on this. I need you to tell her blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
um,
It's always the husband doesn't think the dog needs training.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I normally get.
Mhm.
It's, my husband thinks the dogs are fine.
Yeah.
Or my husband can walk the dogs, but I can't.
Uh-huh.
And that's probably the thing I hear the most.
And then it's trying to get the husband to come along to training. I'm like, no, you will be there.
You will be there. Yeah. You're all part of it.
So for anyone like this, if you do end up training with either of us, especially me, if you end up training with me and you are said gentleman that's like, my dog doesn't need training, it's the missus, you'll probably get spoken to like a man-child. Really?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah. Like I say, no fluff, no BS.
No, but
grow
I
up.
think this is a good opportunity for you to tell everyone a little bit of your backstory, because not everybody knows. They'll see.
Yeah, why I'm so hardcore and
they'll see, if they've looked at your social media, they'll see Bonnie and all your sessions. They'll see her in the row with the ball as usual. But I don't think that many people probably know as to your origins.
No, so I mean, there's a very old About Me YouTube video that I put up when I first started the business, which I probably should update. I'm not going to lie and repost it. But basically, I'm going to cut a long story short because it is a very long story. But I was looking for a working dog to keep up with me all day long. And back then, I wasn't a reactivity trainer. I wasn't a balance trainer. I was actually a positive only, believe it or not, positive only dog trainer who focused on puppies and obedience. That's what I did. So I was like, I need a working dog that can keep up with me all day, come to my classes and all of this. So I was looking online and found Bonnie. And I was like, oh, lovely little lab. That would be great. Right? Labs are brilliant dogs. I didn't know back then the red ones are a different breed entirely. They are nuts. But she got advertised to me as very sociable, loving. She was great with dogs, great with people. So I was like, perfect, that's all I need. Anything else I can train, that's fine. I got her, and a week after I got her, she was trying to eat everything. And I'm not like a little bitty. She wanted to kill. She was like
spicy.
She was the devil dog, honestly. She's laying down there right now, actually. So I basically got thrown in at the deep end with her. And when I say to people, I completely understand where you're coming from when you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't know what to do anymore. And you do have the thoughts of, I need to rehome this dog. Like, this is not a good relationship. I've been there. I have felt that to the point where one day I just had completely enough of her. I was at the end of my tether with her, that I put her in the car and I drove her to my other half's work. And I said to him, you need to take this dog. He was like, I'm at work. What the fuck? I was like, no, you need to take her before I drown her.
Shit.
It was so bad. Like, the end of every day, I was crying. Like, my mum found me with my horses one day. She was like,
found you.
And I was like, I don't know where she is. I don't care. And like, she just had to grab me, and I was like in floods of tears because this dog was ruining my life.
And were you just using positive only methods at this point as well?
I was trying, yes, but
yes, trying.
Many treats were thrown at this dog.
Yeah, well, she's trying to eat your face. You're like, cheese.
Yeah, because that was one of her biggest problems. If she reacted to something, and I'm on about dog, person, lamppost, wheelie bin, the sun, right? Bonnie even reacted to the picture of the moon. If it was a full moon picture on the TV, she would try and eat the TV. It was insane. Right?
Crazy.
Got a screw loose. So every time she'd done that and she was on a lead and she couldn't eat the thing, she'd turn around and eat me instead. So for quite a few months, I was covered in a lot of bruises, a lot of scratches. I've got a lovely scar on my arm from her where she took a chunk out of my tattoo.
Yeah, you end up getting, had to go to hospital with her as well.
Yeah, that had to be glued.
Mental. It's mental that the fact that you've had to go to hospital from your own dog.
I know, mad. So I obviously then thought to myself, right, what I'm doing isn't working. I don't have the knowledge to deal with this. What do I do? And that's when I started to get hold of balanced trainers. And I was like, I need help. I need you to show me some other ways. And it started with simple corrections, just simply starting to tell her no. A lot of redirection was happening with Bonnie as well. So there's a dog, let's redirect, let's play with a ball. But I still couldn't have her off lead because I couldn't trust her. So that's when I got hold of the YCA, started their mentorship, and I learned so much about my own dog. You know, they helped me a lot working with her, that I then got to the point where I was like, oh my God, this dog is now amazing. And I actually have an e-collar to thank for that, because as soon as she was off lead reliably, I had a different dog.
Yeah.
But one of the other things that I was doing wrong as well, that they showed me and my mum showed me as well. My mum was actually the first person who said to me, Abby, you're doing too much with her. And I think that is a big problem that people do with their dogs. I was throwing so much obedience at her.
Yeah.
She was just, it was too much. She was tired. She was overwhelmed by it all. So when I e-collar trained her and just let her off lead, I suddenly saw a dog just being a dog.
Yeah.
And that's where things started to change. So, and it's that feeling of then being able to walk along the beach and have someone look at you and go, oh my God, your dog is so well behaved and trained. That feeling, I was like, I need to give other people that feeling. So that is the shortened version of my origin story with Bonnie.
It's interesting. You said something there. It really, I always find this. It's like it's dog training's easy. It's simple. You can break it down to just a handful of things.
Yeah.
And the handful of things are really just the necessary stuff. Off lead, play, and having a yes and a no.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if the dog can't sit on command. Doesn't matter if the dog can't, walk well on the lead. Like for me, that doesn't really matter. Those things are like luxuries at the core.
She's shit on a lead.
Yeah.
You try and walk her down the street on a lead, she'll pull you. I don't care.
It does, that's like for us, that's where our priorities lie. It's like that's a kind of a luxury thing. But if you're prioritizing the right stuff, you'll be able to get a way, way, way better dog. And I always try to say,
we're going to the beach tomorrow, and whereas before when I first had her, that would have been a no way
not happening.
Am I taking her to the beach, especially during the school holidays? But now I'm like, I'm so excited to go to the beach. We can go get some chips. We'll probably go to the amusement. She can have an ice cream.
Yeah.
And, that is what balanced training gives you. It gives you your freedom back and your life back. So,
and you've got that trust that, you've built strong bond, and you've also created for her, in terms of the off-lead stuff, the consequence for ignoring you.
Yeah, literally.
Because it is going to save her life the one day.
Yeah, and she's not even on a... Bear in mind, this is was a very highly reactive, extremely aggressive dog that has got such a high drive in her. It's insane.
Crazy drive.
And her working level on her e-collar is 16. But for anyone that doesn't know the e-collars we use, they go up to 100. So...
and most dogs work anywhere between 5 and 10 usually.
16 is high. So, but that's still not 100. And she can be off lead. So, but it's very similar. I would say it's not extremely similar to your story, because yours is a little bit different. You had Fraser from a baby. So whereas she was a rescue, I got her when she was 1. So I don't actually know what had happened to her. But you were in a similar boat where you didn't actually know what had happened to Fraser.
Yeah. So he's just picked up something and having a bit of a grumble at it. Um, as soon as you mentioned his name, yeah. So we got Fraser from, let's just say, a council house, and it was a bit of a mess. And red flags were like there from the beginning. He was a Gumtree dog. Dad was in the back going absolutely ballistic. We weren't allowed to see him, but I could see him through the window, and he was just going mental. And mom and grandma were there and things like that, and I was like, yeah, I want this one. Took him home. We watched every video, read every book, did all the stuff. To be fair, I think we nailed puppyhood. I'll be honest. We worked on settling in the home. We knew that we played with them every day. We got them off leads pretty quick. We actually did it just organically through whistle training and like long lines and stuff. But we did that from like day one. Like we both said, recall from day one. So I actually don't need an e-collar with him for that recall stuff. But we built such a high drive with his toys and food. You know, he's a spaniel. We should have also said that he's a spaniel. Anyway, started to do things that probably shouldn't have done. We went to puppy socialization with him, went to puppy parties. A few red flags started happening, which I just ignored because I just thought he was just playing. And it was larger dogs starting to pin him down, and he wasn't able to kind of get up. And like now I see that as like bullying behavior, and to the age he was, didn't have that confidence to fight back. I would take him on loads and loads of like pack walks and group walks with this one sort of little dog socializing thing. And I started to see as he got older, his confidence level dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So he went from mingling with the dogs to now being glued to my leg. And he had his tail tucked a lot of the time, and he just did not feel comfy. So I did end up stopping going to them because I was like, he's not having fun. But, you know, he socialized with dogs. He went out with a dog walker. He was great with his pack and things like that. And then about one, he just changed. Every time he saw a dog, he'd lose his mind, barking, lunging. He'd hit the end of the lead. I was my client that I get now. When he was off lead, if he saw a dog within like 50 yards, he'd leg over to it and like bark in its face. He had no interest in playing whatsoever. And I was like, what the hell's gone wrong? I've taught neutrality with this dog. We could stand and watch a dog walk by. He wouldn't run over to it, and he'd look to me and he'd get his reward. And that's how I did it. Anyway, something went wrong. For me, I'm putting it down to a few bad things and genetics from his dad's side, potentially. I reckon his dad was a reactive dog. We just didn't know about it. We went to, I think, well, as everybody gets to, you know, we had a breaking point, which he ran out of the house, and he just absolutely tore into this bulldog for no reason.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Turned the corner, and there was a dog there, and it was like, right, you're my target, and just nailed him.
Yeah.
So, you know, my wife was in tears. I was like, I don't know what to do. Started asking on Facebook for advice. And it was actually a dog walker who pointed us in the direction of a trainer. We went to a gun dog trainer, and he was good. He was good at teaching us gun dog work. He taught us about fulfillment, and that's something which, you know, we weren't doing enough of. But the methods were a little bit on the more, what's the word?
Compulsion, yeah.
Yeah, it was like yank and crank. You're going to do it, and I'm going to continue to just harsh correct you until you do the thing.
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure is how people see balanced trainers. When they hear you're a balanced trainer, I think that's what they think we are. And it's like, no, we are actually 90% reward based.
Absolutely.
10% telling your dog.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always say to people, if we can get like 1 or 2 well-timed good corrections in, the rest of the time is just positive reinforcement. That's it.
Yeah, and you know, because you were saying you've seen compulsion training firsthand. You've seen how different it is to balance training. Did it have an effect on Fraser?
Yeah, it actually on Fraser on me.
Or well, both of you, really.
It taught me how I didn't want my clients to feel the way I felt in that moment, because I felt very uncomfortable. He hated him. He would bark at him as soon as he saw him after that. And you know, it was like when it came to like that loose lead walking and stuff, it was like, oh wow, he's walking well to lead. I'm like, no, he was just shut down.
Yeah.
He didn't dare do anything wrong because he knew he was going to get his neck ripped off. So he taught me the skills to do the film and stuff, but that didn't fix the reactivity. So I just went, you know what, sod it, I'm going to go back to what I was doing before and researching and things. And then eventually I followed things like Tom Davis. I was watching a lot of Will Atherton, trying their methods. A lot of them are counter conditioning through obedience. So I started going like yourself, like I went heavy into obedience. That was the methods in which I actually started my training career with, was like, right, okay, you've got a reactive dog, let's heal them past the dog. When they react, let's correct them for, and it just didn't work. It was like, there's something else missing. And then that is where we landed on what I've got now. Where is it? Right on cue.
Right on cue, Fraser. Well done.
You're a car, aren't you? Yeah, and that's where I landed on what I do now with him and what I do now with my clients, and like yourself, using markers, like, focusing on the important stuff. Rather than getting the dog to walk nicely on the lead, get the dog off lead.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not perfect, as you can hear. He's still barking at a car, which you can hear outside. He's a dog, but he is 100 times better than what he was 3 years ago.
And dogs don't need to be perfect, right? Like, literally, the thing most people say to me when they come to me is that they don't want an uber, like, crazy dog.
Robot.
They don't want a robot. They don't want the heel. They don't want their dog to down instantly and do all of this fancy stuff. They just want their dog to be a dog, and they just want to be able to go and enjoy their dog like everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, okay, so that's great, because I don't believe that your dog has to sit, lay down, heel, go through the center of your legs. Like, I don't believe in any of that, because both of us for ourselves have seen that it doesn't work at all.
It doesn't work. Not for trying to just fix the main problem. All of that can come later.
Yeah, like Bonnie, of course, she does all of it. Fraser does all of it. But that's because we fixed the reactivity, and now we do things like that just for fun.
You can have fun.
Yeah, and just show off a little bit.
Yeah, of course. We get bored, It's like, right, okay, what can I teach my dog now? And you just start finding random stuff to do with them.
Like, if I've just finished up a session with someone, I've got half an hour until my next client turns up. What can I do? Oh, let's teach Bonnie how to crawl.
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
But brings me on nicely to ask if you have seen the reel that I've done, which is getting quite a lot of backlash about positive only dog training.
Yeah, I have. And I read the comments. You've got a good amount of comments, and you know what? You've got a surprisingly good balanced amount of comments on it as well.
Good balanced amount of comments. But for anyone that hasn't seen it, I'd recommend going and watching it. I basically call out the fact, and it is fact, that positive only dog training doesn't exist. You can go to a force free. Force free, again, I don't think exists, but they try, and I think it will work for a puppy, but it ain't going to work for your reactive dog. I'm just going to put it out there. If you've got a dog that's trying to eat others, force free ain't going to work. Simple as that. Unless you've got 5 years to work on it, which that's half your dog's life gone. So
yeah, precisely.
5 years or 5 weeks. It's up to you. But a lot of positive only dog trainers have been commenting on there saying that positive doesn't mean that they don't correct a dog.
Okay.
So they've been saying that positive only simply means that the dog is free from fear, pain, and intimidation. So I think that means that clearly I'm a positive dog trainer. Right? Because although I use an e-collar, and people are like, e-collar, that's not a positive dog training. Well, it is, because, even though the dog's wearing it and we're training with it, the dog's still free from fear, pain, and intimidation.
Yeah.
So that, surely the argument coming from positive only dog trainers means that an e-collar is a positive tool to use because it's free from those three things.
Free from things. I think they, obviously they strongly believe in a dog should not have adversity within training or its life, which is fucking mental, because in order to make a strong, resilient person, we go through adversity, we go through adverse situations, stressful situations, and sometimes these situations are incredibly uncomfortable, but you get through it and you're like, that wasn't too bad. I was petrified of heights, absolutely petrified of heights. And then with my job, I ended up getting put on, because I used to be an engineer, so I got put on scissor lift courses and scaffolding courses. So it was like, right, I've got no option here. And I was sweating and wobbly, and I was like shit in a brick.
Yeah.
And I did the courses, I did them every day, and I was like, all right, I'm not scared anymore. Yeah. I was doing things I probably shouldn't have been doing on these things, but this was like something I wouldn't have done before. I was jumping in it, going up, going down, and it was like before, and that wasn't, for me, that was aversive for me to then go out and be confident.
Yeah.
So then in future, if I need to do something, I can do it.
Yeah. And that's what our dogs need. They need us to give them the opportunities to build that resilience in them so they can live a better life, right?
Yeah.
So, Bonnie, when I first got her, she's terrified of water. Imagine that. A Labrador.
You would not think that now.
No, you wouldn't think that now. Oh my, I can't get her away from the bloody stuff. But, I put her in that moment of stress where I got in the water. So we were at one of the local rivers. I got in, I had a ball with me, ready for when she got in, and I was slowly easing her in with arm line. And I'm like, no, you are going to do this. And as soon as she got in, big reward. And we just kept repping that. And because we did, and because I put her in that stressful situation, something she did not want to do, and got her over it, she's now such a water baby. She loves it. She's an amazing swimmer. It's a great exercise for her. It's great fulfillment. And after 10 minutes of it, she's bloody knackered, and I get a peaceful afternoon.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what you said there is like you've used that long line, therefore you've applied pressure to draw her into something which she's uncomfortable about.
Yeah.
There's not been a bribery option there. It's done because, essentially out of compulsion of you've got to do this now. You do it and you're like, all right, it's not scary. You did it, and then there's a reward at the end, which you did not see of like, hey, come get this. The reward has then appeared. So she's like, oh shit, I did that and I have been rewarded for it. So then you repeat the process and she's like, yeah, okay, getting from shore to man is actually not that bad.
Yeah.
And I get that reward, and then it becomes such a positive thing. You could have spent an hour with her not pulling on that line and stood in the freezing water, dangling a bit of chicken. And it would only have been her choice of, is that chicken worth it or not?
And I can guarantee it wouldn't have been. Even though, so Bonnie is one of the biggest, or the biggest food-driven dogs I've ever met in my life. Like, one of the biggest issues that we ever had with her was counter surfing. She'd just steal everything. Like, she's been to the vets where they had to force her to be sick. She stole my advent calendar. Like, she steals everything. Yeah, but I
don't
knew
remember that.
then that even dangling, if I dangled a whole galaxy chocolate bar over that water, she still wouldn't have got in.
Oh, but that's going to go down well in the comments here and there.
Yeah. So, you know, it sometimes it does work where you can use that gentle nicey with your dog,
Mm.
but for certain dogs like her, like Fraser, like the ones that we see daily,
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
No, and I absolutely agree. You made a point there. It's again, it's contextual. It's some dogs. Boone, for example, that you had.
Yep.
You know, I'm not too sure on what you did with him, but he was a genuinely fearful dog. In them instances, yes, we have to build up the dog's confidence, maybe in more positive ways initially, but still there has to be an aspect of like, little bit of compulsion in there to be like, come on, let's do the thing.
Yep.
A little bit of pressure on. I'm not going to give you it out. You've got to go through it.
So he's a perfect example, right? Of he is so fearful of the world. He's scared of everything to the point where he wouldn't even get on our bed. So the little
He was a rescue, wasn't he, from abroad?
from abroad, yeah. And first time we saw him, those little dog training beds where we do place and everything, he would not go near it. It was absolutely terrible.
I have never seen a dog leap
Yeah.
over a training cot that's upside down.
Yeah.
Like, he genuinely thought if he walked onto that, his world was going to end.
Yeah, he thought he'd die.
Yeah, genuinely. He had genuine fear to walk on this bed.
Yeah. So with him, for a simple thing of just standing on a bed, we used that as resilience building, basically. So we found something that was really, really scary to him, and we used it to build some confidence in him. So we started off just by getting him to take food off of it. That's literally it. There's a bit
Nice.
of food on there. Go and eat it. And we got there. So we're like, right, okay, if he's comfortable to eat the food off of the bed, now we can start building in some stress, basically. And that's where we used pressure. So it took probably a good 10 minutes or so of just standing there with a slight bit of pressure on his collar, sort of moving him in the direction that we wanted to go. And as you say, we didn't give him an out. Like, your out is to stand on this bed. As soon as you stand on there, that's it, you're done. So, and he literally, after a good amount of time, he gave in to the pressure and he went on the bed. He shat his pants as he went onto the bed, but then he got lots and lots of reward and he got straight off again. And now, because we've done that with him and we repped it multiple times, Boone can now be off lead. You don't need a lead, and just say to him, place, and he'll go and lay on that bed.
Yep.
Because he's built something within him, basically. And the best person to explain, I've found, to explain stress and resilience in the dog's brain is Dr. Melanie Uday. There's some amazing videos on her YouTube that goes into depth about the hormones and everything that happen in a dog's brain whilst you're doing training like that. And it's absolutely insane to learn about it all. I had sort of worked it all out and it was all in my head. And today I'm having a bit of a brain melt day. So it's not there anymore.
There is so much to retain, isn't there?
So much. Yeah. And sometimes dog training for people can be a bit overwhelming. So people will come to me and they'll say, oh, the previous dog trainer asked me to do this, and this. And I'm like, that's a lot of stuff for one session.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? And then they come to me and I'm like, okay, all you're going to do today is basics of recall. That's it. You're going to ask your dog to come back. When they come back, you can treat them. And that's your homework for the next week. And they're like, what? Yeah. Really? That's it? And I'm like, yeah, that's it. Because it should be that simple.
Just layer it up bit by bit. It doesn't have to be complex, you know. I also hear the opposite of like, okay, you've spent 5 months with this trainer. What have you done? I've got perfect example. So they actually, they come start work with me now instead. Spaniel and a Dalmatian. Dalmatian came into the home as a rescue. Great dog. but the spaniel hates it. I think there's been a bit of a bad experience between the two of them, where the Dalmatian had a bit of a nibble at an area of the spaniel where she shouldn't have been nibbling. Yeah, and that just yeah, and the spaniel now, as soon as she sees or even remotely hears her, goes ballistic. They can't be in separate rooms. They are just separated in the home all day. And the previous trainer they had would just have them stand at corners of the room, and then as soon as the spaniel would get too much, they'd take the Dalmatian away, and then they come back in. They had multiple sessions, and each time they was like, "Oh, she's getting better." And I was like, "Well, what other skills did they do with you?" And they're like, "That was it." And I'm like, they did the typical scatter feed, redirection, but it was just bring the two dogs into the room, one kicks off, take the other one away, let's try again. And I'm like, that's mental.
Well, no, because surely what that's teaching the dog is that when you kick off, that means the thing you don't like goes away.
Goes away.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you're teaching the wrong thing there.
Yep. So I was like, did you find it got worse? They're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Because she was getting reinforced.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh. So it's...
Moving from that, what would be like one of your biggest pieces of advice for someone looking for a dog trainer for their reactive dog? So not for a puppy, not to do gun dog stuff, but for a reactive dog. What's the one piece of advice you'd give?
Look at what their videos are on their social media. So social proof. If you're seeing a lot of puppies and a lot of obedience work, things like that, that is probably not the trainer for you. If they are heavily showing proof of reactive dogs of multiple different breeds, or a specific breed, if that applies to you, that's probably the person you want, with testimonials that are life-changing.
Yeah.
This, if you're seeing proof and people saying like, oh, Simon was really knowledgeable and gave us the understanding as to why, all of this kind of shit, that's not evidence of a good dog trainer. Saying like, Matt changed our life, or we couldn't go anywhere with our dog before, and now the options are endless and we can go here, there, and everywhere. That there is a life-changing review. So it's kind of a two-parter, but being able to see physical evidential proof of the reactivity being fixed, and then testimonials, because that's all that's stuff you can't fake.
No, and if you can ask them as well, something like, oh, can I have the details of one of your clients so I can ask them? If they say no, to me, that's a red flag.
It is. And I actually did this. I did this yesterday. To that one I mentioned this morning, earlier on, of who was on the fence. I was like, I will pass you on the contact details of one of my clients who did this. Mm-hmm. She was like, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Obviously, I've got permission to do that. I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't know what they're going to say. I'm not coaxing them to be like, make sure you say all the good stuff. I'm like, no. Give them the honest truth.
They could say you're shit.
They could. And if they say I'm shit, then that's fine.
Yeah. That's like, I done the same yesterday. So I gave details out for one of my clients that had done the 5-dayer. And I was like, they could either make or break this. Like, they could say absolutely the best thing since sliced bread and I've changed their life. Or they could say, not worth it, mate. I'm 100%.
That's the thing.
Then they're gonna say
they're probably not. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like we know the work that we do, and we've seen the results. So really, shouldn't go one way.
No.
So what would you say to people then who are looking for the dog trainer?
Honestly, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way. Cost. So if you're looking for a reactive dog trainer, they're charging you £40 an hour to train the dog. They're not going to fix your dog.
Just doing one-off sessions.
Yeah, not going to do it.
Yeah.
If you find a dog trainer that you think to yourself, okay, that's an investment, then yes, it is an investment because it will change your life and your dog's life forever, basically. So it's a bit like, how can I explain it? Say, for example, you go into Curry's because you need a new Hoover, right? I'm going to use that as an example. And, you know, you're looking at two different Hoovers. You're looking at one that's 50 quid, and you're looking at maybe a Shark fancy ass Hoover that's like 500 quid, right? You're thinking to yourself, right, I don't want to be back here in the next 2 weeks buying another Hoover because that one's broken. And I wanted to do a good job. I wanted to fix my problem of having dog hair all over the place. If you pay for the £50 one, that's not going to fix your problem. It's going to be shit, and you're going to be back in 2 weeks paying out even more money, right? If you went for the expensive Shark Hoover, you're going to be a very happy bunny. Other brands are available. You know, it'll fix problems. It'll pick up all your dog hair, and it's not going to break within 2 weeks. You're probably going to have that for a good 2 years. And it probably comes with a nice warranty on it as well. So,
exactly. It's like you invest in something good, in good quality. You pay, you know, there is a caveat to this, but you pay for quality. At the same time, I have seen money being spent on not so good quality.
Yeah, no,
yeah, you know, but generally speaking, somebody's charging you on, you know, a high amount, you're going to likely get a high quality service. Or at least you should.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. You know, if you go to somebody who is charging you, as I said, £40 a session, you've spent 8 sessions with them, and you've also been hiring fields, you've been buying treats, you've been, you know, harnesses and leads. How much have you at that point spent? Or would you have just spent, you know what, and also time. How much time are you spending? Because time is money as well. If you're traveling to the training, you're traveling to them fields and things like that. That's fuel. That's, you know, all that extra cost. Or you do something where it's like, this is going to fix us in 4 or 5 sessions, and yes, it's a large chunk, but then you get you know, the rest of your life.
Yeah.
All for the sake of taking 2 months at max.
Yeah, and like
not even that.
The amount of people that come to me, or they'll finish a course with me, or during the course, they're just like, do you know what? You're just so readily available. You're always there. You know, the things that are included are just insane. And I'm like, that's because the people that come to me with their dogs are VIPs. You're not just another number. You're not just another person and their dog. You are you and, you know, dog's name, right? I don't know, you're Steve and Fred, right? For example, you know, and you are one of my VIPs. You are a very
we care deeply about what our dogs are, our clients.
We care so much about the people and the dogs that come to us that and I know you're the same, if someone is struggling with a bit of training that we are giving them to do, it infuriates us. Not in a sense that the person's not getting it wrong. It's just something that we are doing isn't quite working. And that will play on my mind all night long. Yeah. I figure it out, basically. You know?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, how can I put this across differently?
Yeah. How can I make this work? Or what is different about this dog to the 5 that I had last week? And we will stay up all night long figuring that out, basically, because it grates on me when something isn't working.
Precisely, you know, and it's easy. We take a lot of this stuff home, you know, for the average person, they go home, like they do the job and they go home, and then that's it, they clock out. You know, for us, if we've got people messaging us, or we've had a session and it's not quite gone how we wanted it to go, you know, we'll stew on it and be like, right, scratching our heads, what's gone on differently with this one, as you said? How can I approach things differently? Is it something that the owner's not quite understanding? And if that's the case, how can I put it across to do that? You know, and you know, we'll sit there and you just start chewing on it. We, you know, fire messages back and forth to each other quite often, asking for advice and our outlook and opinions. Yeah, you know, and it's like
voice note from each other, having a bit of a rant about something that's just happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm stuck on this, yada yada. What would you recommend? And there's no harm in that. And I always say, I get some great clients. I do. I always say to them, it's a bit of a cheesy line, but I was like, if you give me 100%, I'm going to give you 110, and that is, I stick by that. If you don't, then I'm not going to give you that effort back.
Yeah,
It's a two-way street.
so true. But I think one of the things for me as well that I always say to people looking for a dog trainer is, does your dog trainer have a trainer? And does your dog trainer have contacts and friends within the dog training world, right?
Yeah.
If your potential dog trainer can't tell you where they learn everything, or if they tell you that they learn it from online courses that last over 2 weeks, and they don't have anyone to fall back on and ask questions to, don't go to them, basically.
Yeah. And if their dog is also not trusted.
Yeah.
If they can't have their dog off leads, if they can't have their dog around dogs, like neutrally, and listen to them, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm so gutted that I don't have any videos of Bonnie before
Same.
all of this.
Same.
I was so embarrassed by her, and I was so sort of isolated, really, from her behaviour that I was hiding it from everyone, because when you've got a dog that acts like that, people go, you should get rid of that dog. Shouldn't have that dog. That dog needs putting down. So
yeah,
I don't have any videos of before to show anyone. So when I bring her out as my stooge dog and people see how amazing she is, they don't believe me.
It's infuriating, isn't it? I'm the same. I've got no videos. And I'm like, yeah, this dog could not be around your dog right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is something I regret, is not taking videos of her beforehand. But, I've got the memories of it. I've got the scars.
Scars. Well, that's the thing, though. Mental scars, physical scars.
Definitely some mental scars. Yeah. Bless her little heart. But no, she's a really good girl now. And, that's just what we try and do for everyone that comes to us.
Yeah.
And for people that are creating that investment with me, with you, with the other guys that we chat to daily, they're not just getting Abby Tails, they're not just getting Matt's Mutts. Without them even realising it, they're actually getting a whole community of dog trainers that are there to help, which is really nice. If I get
full arsenal of dog trainers.
Yeah, which is nice, because the dog training industry can be really vile and really competitive, and everyone's out ruining each other. Yeah, it's very toxic. So to have a community like ours, where everyone's like just wanting to help each other and not hide anything from each other, is so nice to have, and it's refreshing.
It is. Like, this was something which I struggled with when I first started and felt super isolated. It was because the dog trainer who I had originally worked with, even though I wasn't 100% with, I didn't know any other trainer. So I tried to reach out to him for help, and I got pretty much shut out straight away. I was like, right, this is now the industry I'm in.
Yeah.
Everybody's just gatekeeping and doesn't want to reveal their secrets because of fear of competition or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whereas if you look at it, rather than competition, if you look at it as community, oh my God, like, the doors it opens is absolutely insane. So
there's enough reactive dogs out there to go around. That's
yeah,
sure.
There's so many. It's crazy how many reactive dogs there are. And going back to sort of our original point of positive only, force free, I honestly believe that's why there's so many reactive dogs these days, is because nobody's telling their dog no.
Yep. And it's just getting longer and longer and longer, and social media are pushing this thing more of like you just physically can't, because you're a terrible person if you do that, and then therefore people feel bad or embarrassed. I know you've probably had it, but people are like, oh, you've got the e-collar on, I'm nervous of what people will think. And it's mental, the fact that this is a tool which is going to help someone's dog, and they are physically embarrassed to have it on out of fear of judgment.
Yeah.
Because of a narrative which is pushed so hard.
Yeah. Joe, I asked my mum the other week, and I made her feel quite old, basically, because I used the phrase "back in your day." I was like, back in your day, when you were young, was there any such thing as a reactive dog? Right now, my mum, she will say she's in her 50s to be nice. All right, sorry, mum. And she said to me openly, she went, when I was young, there was no such thing as a reactive dog. She went, I'd never seen one, never heard of one. She was saying, when she was younger, dogs were like cats. People would open the door in the morning, let their dog out, they'd go wandering all day, and then they'd stand at their doorway and go, Bob, dinner! And the dog would come running from nowhere.
Yeah, my dad's dog was like that.
Yeah. Can you imagine doing that in this day? Well, you had it the other day with your dog that you found out on the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I was saying to you, literally, after I said that, there has been 2 or 3 dogs on Facebook per day that people have posted saying, oh, I've just seen this dog wandering. And it's like, but back in my mum's young days, that was the norm.
No, just a dog wandering about. It's cool. Somebody's dog. Yeah.
All of this reactivity, I think, has stemmed from dogs not being able to be dogs.
Yeah.
Treating them like children, which I do.
Yeah.
Bonnie is my child, right? But she still has boundaries. She still knows.
Yeah. Dogs had way stronger boundaries back then. It was like, well, a dog is a dog.
Yeah, like most of them slept outside.
They're not a fucking fur baby.
No. And I think as well, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from this, I think it's since we started getting designer dogs. Like cockapoos.
Cockapoos. Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. Realistically, at one point in time, we had way better breeding. Like the quality of breeding was 10 times better in terms of like genuine pedigree dogs. We did have a lot of mixes because our dogs were wandering about the streets and they were, getting a bit raunchy with anyone that they could find, and you did have random litters of dogs. But what wasn't happening was people weren't just thinking, I've just got the right for a dog. Like, I just want a dog, regardless of what I do for work or whatever, I want a dog.
Yeah.
And therefore, the demand was lower back then. So now the demand's so much higher. There's more dogs out there. It's so saturated in terms of kennels and stuff like that and the shelters. And then you get your puppy farms. You get all these breeders who want a quick buck from a couple of puppies. And then they go to the wrong owners, unfortunately. The wrong breeds go to the wrong people. And then you just get this perfect storm.
Yeah, basically. I think that'll be a good subject for our next podcast.
I think so too. I was thinking that. Like, we're nearly at about the hour mark. Yeah. I think we'll discuss something like that on our next one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that'll be a good one, that one, to be fair. So if you want to hear that one of us talking about, the good old days, why there are more reactive dogs these days and breeds to avoid, make sure to subscribe to this podcast, to our channels, so then you can hear us rambling about, dogs that you probably shouldn't get and dogs that, I'm going to say it, dogs that shouldn't exist, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. All things wrong with our dogs these days. Yeah. Everything wrong.
Yeah.
And what if we had a magic wand? What we would do to basically change that and put us out of business? So, yeah.
Cool.
What I'm trying to say is you have an ebook that people can download.
I do. I completely forgot about it. Yes.
So if you do have a reactive dog, I was going to tell you a little bit about her ebook.
I've had a lot of good feedback from it. I feel like it might lose me some work, but it's helping people.
Quite a page turner it is.
Yeah. So it's quite a long ebook. It's something that I'm actually beginning to turn into an actual book that I want to publish. There are 1,000 copies of it at the moment going for free. They are literally flying now.
Nice.
I must have 100 people per day have this ebook. And so far, it has been helping a lot of people understand their dog. So it's basically all the knowledge I have about the psychology of why your dog is reactive and how to start making everything that bit better. So there's a lot of workbooks in there, a lot of how-tos. And people have said to me a lot of times that they finally have started to understand their dog, which is really, really nice to hear. So if you want it, down below in the comments, just comment the word ebook and I will send it to you. There's probably, to be honest, only a few hundred left to give out. So
good work.
Thank you. Make sure that you're getting one, because after all 1,000 are gone, I will be charging for it. So, because apparently it's very, very good.
Fair offer. Good.
So,
and I will be sticking in my reactive dog roadmap. It's not quite as in depth as Abby's, but again, that is going to give you a little bit of an insight as to what kind of reactivity your dog might be, whether that's fear-based, frustrated, etc., and a few little things that you can do to help change other aspects of your dog's life, which you might not even be thinking that really affects reactivity, but it really does. So I'll pop that down in the description for you to download. And as Abby said, comment ebook and you can get that, your copy.
Yeah, and of course, if anyone has any questions about your reactive dog, if you are thinking that you want to train with either of us, then our links to book calls will be down in the description as well. Or just pop us a message on Instagram.
Yeah, drop us a message. We'll pop our socials and websites and all that kind of good stuff in the description. Cool. Right. Well, I think time to sign off then.
Shall I do my live long and prosper?
Live long and prosper.
Peace out. We've got that one as well. Or just very simply, ciao.
Ciao.